Hello, welcome to another section with Super High. So today we're looking at how to make a flyer. Delete what you have on your screen right here. Now let's get started. First we have to set the background, which is setting the background color. Come to color, then let's look for, let's make use of let's use brown color. Okay, since I don't have a brown color here, I have to go and find my brown color, something like this. Hope you can see this. Make it a little deep. Make it a really deep brown color like this. Okay, the color code is 6C2710. That's the color code. Okay, now you can see what I have here. Great. The next thing that I'm going to do now is just to create a shape. So you come here and create a shape. Let's create a circular shape, something like this. Now this shape, what we are going to do to it is we are going to tox it up a little like this to get something like this. Then you can bring it up, spread it over the page, spread it over the page to cover the page to something like this. But this time around, let me move it down a little. Okay, you can see what I have here. Okay, good. This is good. What I'm going to do now is just to okay that. Then let's put in a picture. Let's put in a picture here, like texture. So let's look for a male. Okay, let me make use of this picture. Good. Let me just crop this in a little like this. Then okay, and you can see what I have here. This is not so bad, so you can just enable this to have a plate of food like this. You can have it this way, like this, and just position it to something like this. Okay, now for the good of this, let's just make it let's say want to good. Now let's give this a shape like a stroke. Enable stroke. You can make it, let's say 1 2 3 4. Now get the stroke. The stroke number is 4 right here. Now let's get something like, let's say, orange color for the stroke. Let's make it a bright orange, something like this. The color code is FFA621. Okay, let's say this is it. Move it up so as there won't be any side showing up here. Okay, the next thing that I'm going to do now, since I already have this as my upper frame, I'll just create a circle again. But this time around, let me not just create a circle. Let me go and look for a foot frame. You can do the same thing that I've done here with this circle. But let me just look for, let's create a shape like rectangle, circular shape like this. You can reduce the size, get a very good size, and position it like this. Let's say I'm positioning it at the center using positioning tool like this. Good. Now what I'm going to do now is just to go and find another food picture. Let me say a PNG food or something like that. Okay, let me say I want to use any of these pictures. Okay, let me just make it a circle. You can make it a circle. You can see a circle right here. So click on the circle, then you can reduce the size. Reduce it to a sizable amount like this. You can see this. Okay, this is good. And just reduce the size of this. You can reduce it to fit into the circle that we've made. You can see that. So let's just centralize that by using position like this. You can see this. Now let's create it this way. Come to stroke. Enable the stroke also. That's the food now, not the circle. Give it, let's say we are giving it this. Give it a stroke of 3 like this. You can see this. Now the circle that we have under, let me click on it, which is this one from layer, and now we just come to size. Let me increase the size by 1 or 2 so as it can be bigger. Then I will centralize it back and just centralize it like this. Okay, take your time to position it like the same thing. You can see this. Okay, this is good. You can do it this way. You can see that. Now you can just merge this one together or just duplicate. Let me duplicate everything. Click on this. Just merge them together. Click on merge. Okay, that. Just like this. Good. And just duplicate it like this. Position this one, let's say somewhere here. Then you duplicate this one, position it somewhere here also. Just like this. Now all you just have to do is to input the informations that you have. Let's say fresh food. Now let's input informations. Let's input informations. Text, new text. Now let's say fresh food. Okay. Let's make the initials capital letter. Okay, that. Now just bring it right here. Now let's get the font for it. Let's say font. Just make use of a very good font. Let's say something like this. I'm using font true. So okay that, and just bring this like this. Something like this. Then let's say okay, tasty food with, let's say yummy, or fresh food with yummy food. You can just duplicate this, like just duplicate it, then you edit it to something like with yummy. Let's say this is the name now. The initials capital letter, okay it, and just okay that. Then you can bring it down, but this time around you reduce the size of this to something like this. Okay, good. Now the next thing that we are going to do is, let's say we have something like, okay, let's just put it at, let's say you have any other story like descriptions of the food item and all of that. Let me just paste in a story. The story says right in between here you can add whatever you feel like you want to add. So to just be a plain text. Now this will now be description of, let's say, the food services and all of that, how well your service is and all. So you can just position it right underneath it like this. Good. The next thing that we are going to do now is just to itemize the kind of food. Let's say regular food, regular food, special food, and let's say the last one, traditional food, let's say local food, like all of that. Okay. Okay, let's say this is it. Okay, let's get the size of this like this. Now, excuse me, sorry about that. Now let's just give it some little coloring, like the dots of itemizing. Let's just get it some colors, like something like this. Give it a orange color, something like this. Orange color. Then the last one, which is this. Make it the orange color too. You can see how easily you can itemize these things. Now let's wrap it up by adding details of, let's say, the address and all of that. With that, let's create the, let's say, arrow. Now this arrow that we are going to create, let's give it the ending of the arrow, let's make it this, and begin it this. So those are the two edges that we're making use of. Now let's make use of, okay, this is fine. Just rotate it properly, then you can increase. Let's go back to edit. Just increase the size, right, to be long enough to, you can see this. Okay, good. Now you can just increase the size a little to something like this. Now you centralize it, relative positioning, then you position it somewhere at the down here, just right under the one that you have there. Then you centralize it properly. Then let's give it a color. Let's give it the same orange color that we have. Now you can see how everything is coming together, but it appears this side is bigger than the edge is cut out. Let me go to back to editing, and yes, have it like this. Okay, good. Both edges are available now, so you position it like, take your time. You can use your positioning to set it properly to something like this. Okay, all you just have to do now is to add other informations, like let's say your Instagram, your Twitter, whatever you have. Okay, let's say first I'm adding location. Let me search for location. Okay, This is my location icon. I'll just reduce the size. Back. Just bring it down like this. Give it a color of, let's say, color white. Okay. Then you position it. Okay, good. You can just duplicate any of the text that you have on the screen. Let me duplicate this. And you write your address. Let's see, Wuse. Let's say Wuse to Abuja. Or let's say number 24, like 24. Wuse to Abuja, just like this. Then you bring it down. Make everything a completely white color. Okay. Then you size it up. Let's make it a size of 15. And you position it. Just like that. But the white is a bit, let's make it a black color. Now it's clear, and to make it further interesting, you can just make it bold, just like this. So means let's change the address. Let's change the color also to, let's say, color black. Good. And you can see how everything has come together piece by piece. And yeah, let me just duplicate the address. This, duplicate it, reselect. Now you can reselect and add any other thing that you want to add. Let me add phone number. Okay. Reduce the size also. Bring it down and let's make use of size 3. Okay. You position it at the center. Let's say at the center. And like this. Move it up. So, and you just duplicate this again. Then you write the phone number, position it. Let's say this, duplicate it, we select. No, just back it. I didn't duplicate it. You have to duplicate it, then you reselect it and select another item. Let's say this time I'm selecting Instagram, just like this. Okay. Position it. Size 3 also. And you can add the handle. Duplicate this. Let's say this is the handle. I'll just duplicate it and bring it down here. Now you can see how we've made a very beautiful and simple food flyer and all of that. And yeah, before you know it, if you keep practicing and you are repeating all these things, it won't take you up to 10 minutes, 15 minutes to come up with a very nice concept in designing some of these things for your own brand or for customers. If this was really helpful, kindly like and subscribe to the channel to get notified whenever I'm posting more videos like this. Thank you and